All right, let's just dive right in. This is going to be a straight up talk for guys over 50 about, well, a quiet change that you might be noticing. And look, we're not going to talk about some new pill or crazy procedure. The real key, it might already be sitting right there in your kitchen.
Yeah, this really hits home, doesn't it? It's not like you're sick or in pain. It's just this subtle shift. It's the kind of thing nobody really talks about, but so many of us go through. It's just that feeling, that your body isn't quite responding the way you remember.
So what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's something like, well, I guess this is just getting older. But here's the thing. The real answer, the thing we really need to focus on, isn't about age itself. It's about blood flow. And the best part? That is something you have real control over. You can absolutely do something about it. And that's exactly why we've got to pay attention to this. See, poor blood flow isn't just some random symptom. Think of it more like an unspoken warning sign from your body. We just have to learn how to listen to what it's telling us. Okay, here's the absolute key. Picture your circulatory system like a massive highway network. The first places to get traffic jams? It's always the smallest back roads, right? So any change in performance, it isn't just some minor inconvenience. It could be one of the very first signals that there are traffic jams starting to form in your entire system. It's your body basically telling you to pay attention. So what's actually happening on the inside? Let's get into the science of how this all works. And I promise you, it's way simpler than it sounds. It all boils down to one single crucial little compound. Let me introduce you to nitric oxide. Seriously, this stuff is the MVP of your entire circulatory system. It's a tiny molecule your body makes, and its whole job is to tell your blood vessels, hey, relax, open up. And when you have more nitric oxide, you get wider pathways for your blood to travel. And that means better flow to, well, every part of your body. And the amazing thing is, we can directly influence this whole process just by what we eat. I mean, take a look at something like a beet. It's the perfect example. You eat foods like beets that are just packed with natural nitrates. Then your body gets to work and converts those nitrates into, you guessed it, nitric oxide. As your nitric oxide levels go up, your blood vessels chill out and your circulation just gets better. It's this simple, elegant, natural chain reaction. All right, so let's get practical. How do we actually build this into our daily lives? And listen, this is not about some crazy extreme diet. It's just about making smarter, more targeted choices, one meal at a time. So let me ask you something to get you thinking. How does your day really begin? I mean, think about it. Because those little choices you make every single morning, when you repeat them day after day, they become your reality. Your breakfast can either set you up for great circulation, or it can just be another missed opportunity. Okay, so let's build a better breakfast right now. I want you to start thinking of this first meal of the day not just as fuel to get you going, but as your very first investment in better blood flow for the entire day. So here's a powerhouse combo for you, a simple spinach omelet. Seriously, the eggs, they're giving you those healthy fats that are so crucial for hormone support. The spinach, it's an amazing source of those nitrates we were just talking about, which is going to boost your nitric oxide. And if you cook it all in a good quality olive oil, you're supporting your overall heart health. It's so simple, but man, is it effective. But that investment in your blood flow, it doesn't just stop after breakfast. What you drink all day long is honestly just as important as what you eat. So let's look at a couple of super simple ways to keep everything flowing smoothly. Here are two fantastic choices. First up, watermelon. Not only is it refreshing and hydrating, but it has something called citrulline, which your body uses to make even more of that all-important nitric oxide. Now, if you want something warmer, ginger and lemon tea is just awesome. Ginger is famous for being a circulatory stimulant, and that lemon adds a nice punch of antioxidants. All right, what about that dreaded 3 p.m. slump? You know the feeling. Instead of grabbing something that's just going to clog up the whole system, what if you chose a snack that actively supports your vascular health? And yes, you heard me right. You can have chocolate. But here's the catch. It's got to be high-quality dark chocolate. We're talking 70% cocoa or more. It's loaded with these things called flavonoids that help keep your blood vessels nice and flexible. Pair a little square of that with a handful of almonds or walnuts for some great healthy fats. But, and this is super important, remember that a little goes a long way. Moderation is everything here. If you overdo it, you pretty much cancel out all the good stuff. Okay, now, not every solution is going to be as tasty as chocolate. This next one is incredibly powerful, but I'm not going to lie, it takes a little bit of guts. We're talking about crushed raw garlic with a spoonful of honey. Yeah, I know. It sounds intense, because it is. But garlic has been studied like crazy for its ability to help reduce stiffness in your arteries. And that stiffness is a huge enemy of good blood flow. The honey, it makes it a little more palatable and adds its own benefits. So you really have to ask yourself a tough question. What's more inconvenient, a few seconds of a really strong taste or a long-term decline?
All right, let's move on to your evening meal, dinner. This is your prime opportunity to actively fight back against one of the biggest silent enemies of your circulation, inflammation.
The goal here is really simple. We want to combat that silent inflammation that just builds up from stress, from processed foods, all the stuff that makes our arteries stiff and rigid. And your absolute best weapon in this fight, omega-3 fatty acids. You find them in fish like salmon. So grilling up a piece of salmon with some garlic, lemon, and olive oil, that's not just a tasty dinner, that's like making a direct deposit into your vascular health bank account. And look, this support doesn't have to stop with your main meals. Here are a few more all-star players you can easily work into your day. First, avocado. It's fantastic for its healthy fats, which, just like olive oil, support flexible blood vessels and good hormone balance. How about a little spice? Chili peppers have capsaicin, and that gives your circulation a nice, gentle boost. And then there's a more traditional option, like some dates with warm milk before bed. That can really support your body's repair and recovery cycle while you sleep. So we've gone over a ton of different foods today, but you know, the single most important ingredient in all of this, it isn't a food at all. It's a mindset. And this right here is probably the most crucial takeaway of all. See, eating one healthy meal once in a while, that's just effort. But building these foods into your daily routine, that's creating a pattern. Your body doesn't respond to one-time thing. It responds to patterns. It adapts and rebuilds itself based on what you do consistently, day in and day out. And that really brings us to our final thought here. You know all those subtle changes you've been noticing? They are not random. They are feedback. Your body is literally communicating with you. It's telling you exactly what it needs. So the only real question left is, are you listening? Are you ready to respond? Because making one small, consistent change today, well, that's how you start a brand new pattern for tomorrow.